Hello my fellow gamers and welcome to the first game of my Dawn of War SoulStorm tournament where we had, I believe it was 16? Yes, 16 players signed up, not YouTubers or anything, just people that are on the Discord, that were on my YouTube page and all that, people just signing up, and we got 16. Then we cut half of them off in a group stage. As you can see, it's all going on here. Cut half of them off during a group stage, and these are the final 8 that made it through. And now they're battling it out in a best out of 3 series to see who goes through to the semi-finals, and then finally the finals themselves. So in this matchup, we have Axonn, I believe that's his name, you can see it there, Axonn 51, who is playing as the Space Marines. And on his bottom half here, we have a Jamcake 420 who will be playing as the Eldar.
What is your will?
What's good is this game's a bit slower than some of the other games, so it's a perfect one for me to explain for people that are probably looking at like, what is this? Well, if you've not seen Dawn of War multiplayer, the idea is you start with a building and 1 worker and some basic resources, requisition and power. Requisition's the main resource you need, while power is more for upgrades and more advanced units. What you got to do is build units, build a base, and then capture these points. And these points are critical. That's why they're strategic points, because they're strategic, and they give you more reinforcements. Well, yeah, I guess so. More points to spend on reinforcements. So dominating the map is very important.
Position secure.
See, that means one's been captured.
At your command.
We then have relics. So they're similar to strategic points, but they're more valuable, and they let you have a relic unit, which is the ultimate unit for that army. So capturing them and getting to that tier is very good. Finally, we have these. Now these are critical locations, so as you can guess, they're critical. With these, the game mode is either you destroy your enemies, enemy starting building, or capture the majority of these and hold them for, I believe it's 6 minutes, maybe 7 minutes, it'll come up sooner or later. And then you win. So you either got to wipe out the enemy's headquarters or dominate the map. And each map we've got selected for this tournament have been picked because they've got a good balance and all have 3 critical locations. So what have we got going on here then? We have Jamcake as the Eldar, spreading out, capturing the points here and here. He's doing quite a good job. He's moving more into the centre of the map. And water. While we're here, guys, you see that negative sign on? That means while they're in water, they get more damage. They're slower and they're not as good as fighting because they're slogging through water. On the other hand, if you're in a crater, as you can see there's a circle there, you get a bonus for fighting because you're in cover. So Jamcake is moving up here. He's securing the locations. But Axonn is going straight for the critical locations. He's going for that early win as quickly as possible. So he's securing the flanks. There you go. See, he'll come up 1 out of 3 is owned. And as I said, there's 1 in the set, but you only have to own 2 of the 3. You just have to have the majority to win. So if he holds that, it's then just a matter of holding Jamcake back. There he goes. Jamcake is now grabbing the critical location in the centre. Now,
Position secure.
there we go. 7 minutes countdown. So what happens is Jamcake either needs to destroy this building or capture one of these locations in the next 7 minutes, or Axonn wins. So Axonn is doing really good here. He's playing very defensively. He's got a heavy bolter here to cover this one. While the one close,
in the name of the Emperor.
Thank you. This one closer, he's just keeping as a few troops. But what's really important is he's built listening posts on all his strategic locations. Now what this means is he'll get more resources in and the enemy can't just come in and take them off. While the Eldar has built one there, but he's not building any more, unfortunately. And what difference does this make? Well, if we switch around, this is the Space Marines income, 97 requisition against 62. So the Space Marines are getting more money in, I guess.
Take and hold victory.
Brilliant. So we got that cocktail. Also, there is a 20-minute timer for the battle overall, so no match will take longer than 20 minutes. So they do have to be aware of that as well. If the 20-minute counter going, but someone has their name up here, they count as winning. So Jamcake has captured the centre location. He's gone for a few Guardians and a couple of Harlequins. Harlequins being really good at close combat. They just dance through it, literally. Well, Axonn's got a couple of scouts. He's got...
stands with me shall be my brother.
Brilliant. He's got the Force Commander, who is his general. Very powerful unit. Pretty much in everything. Space Marines are good all-rounders. As you can see, he's gone for a very light force, and is only now getting Space Marines. He thought, get a load of cheap units, the scouts, to capture the locations. Now, we do have a push here. The Eldar are pushing up, but they do have a turret here. How quickly does it react? Because this, as you can see, will gun the Eldar down. With the scouts as well, that has... yeah, that's not great. He lost a lot of Guardians, but he did fall back, which is good. This red circle round means their morale's been broken. Each unit has morale. If it breaks, their fighting deteriorates quite good. Quite badly, sorry. Now, the Eldar are coming around here, trying to avoid, but unfortunately that Gatling still has Soch on these Harlequins. As you can see, even them, they're doing quite a bit of damage. But they're trying to capture this point now. Harlequins keeping the forces busy, while the weaker Guardians grab the point, which is a very good idea. Good manoeuvre. And the Guardians now moving up here just to protect. But the Space Marines are now pushing up with they've got Assault Marines and normal Standard Marines. As you can see, they're just going to cut these guys down. And the Force Commander's moving over there to deal with the push in the south. There you go, they've captured that. Now he could get the Scouts to capture that with the units hold. Got some Guardians kind of sitting there. Now this isn't good,
danger has found us.
This is a problem. If you look, 400 resources, he's building more Marines, he's getting upgrades. Go on the other side.
The humans have ignored our warning.
Yeah, you're not going to capture that. The Force Commander's going to cut them down. There you go. So Jamcake's going to push back, but the submarines have got behind. This is disastrous. It takes a lot more resources to build a new unit than it does to reinforce. So you want to keep your units on alive as much as possible. Coming in with his upgraded, got more Guardians. Problem is, he's only building the most basic units. He's got a Soul Shrine, which gets upgrades, but all he's using it for is to get the Harlequins out. He's not using it for the upgrade, nor is he expanding. Now, the point I was making earlier, he's got 600 points, but he's building Marines, he's building upgrades, so forth. This guy, Jamcake's got nearly 1,000. At one point, he had over 1,000 minerals. Minerals? Requisition. I'm playing StarCraft too much. Which is just floating there. Oh, so we got caps to worry about. Scouts recapturing that. And the Scouts capturing that. So, Axonn is doing a great job getting these locations. He don't need to push. As long as he got these 3 critical locations, it's down to Jamcake to push back. But we do have caps to worry about, so you can only have so much infantry and so many vehicles based on upgrades. As you can see, Axonn can get up to 15 units worth of infantry, but no vehicles. Here we go, victory countdown. He owns 2/3. As soon as he captures that one, it'll become 100% 3 out of 3. So it's, and I do think these provide. Oh no, they don't provide any. No, I'm getting mixed up now. Right, I'm tired, leave me alone. So, we've got the Eldar are making a push here. Harlequins and a couple Guardians. We then have a couple more squads here. What I don't understand is why are they not reinforcing? You've got the money for, look, 1,200. But this group's been caught by the Marines, and this is disastrous. These guns are just going to rip these Eldars about. The Eldar are all about mobility, hit and run tactics. This is not quite what they had in mind. So the Harlequins secured the middle. He's going to try and snipe the Scouts, but he should be reinforcing these guys. So he could have squads of 9, but he's only got squads of 4. Harlequins trying to move in, but the submarines coming in to reinforce the Scouts. Amazing manoeuvre there by Axonn. And yeah, the Space Marines are now pushing up, and these guys have been caught in a horrible trap here. I know there's reinforcements up here that can come down if needed, but the submarines now have got this pretty good. That guy's flamethrowing his own Scout. But that's fine, he's got a giant hammer. And flamethrowers, you must remember, do an amazing amount of leadership damage. So this would be breaking them out so quickly. Let's see, they're now trying to pull back, but they're just getting gunned down in a very messy fashion. He's on fire. Well, he's not anymore. It looks like, yeah, I think they're trying to fall back. No, they're going for this critical location, but you're not going to be able to take it. Axonn would jump all over that.
How can we help?
But you see, he's not. He's now doing reinforcements, which he should have been doing at the beginning. We do now have a support portal, so the Eldar support portal is where their vehicles come from.
5 minutes.
Well, the Axonn hasn't needed, because he's focusing on building better infantry, is his tactic. There you go, so they've uncaptured it. Now that is worth doing. If you uncapture the point, it will stop them being able to win. If you can uncapture 2 of their points out of the 3, they don't own the majority, they're only on 1/3. So, it is worth doing quick hit and runs and try and just uncap the critical locations. I don't think that's going to be able to happen. The army's moving here, you've got that near their base, and you've got heavy machine guns here. Now, there's not much happening on... He's got some Harlequins coming in, he's doing some Guardians, he's doing a lot of the same strategy again and again and again. Where the Marines are bringing in new weapons, new guns, new upgrades.
At your command.
Oh, a Harlequin is just taking on the army on her own. And she's very agile, not much health, but very agile, and so can dodge a lot of things. Fire is not one of them. So he's done a bit of scan there, you can tell where the Marines are. I've repeat the...
4 minutes until take and hold victory.
See, and the players have that constant reminder, but this is what Jamcake can see. He can see there's Marines here, he needs to get there, he can probably assume there's stuff there, and he knows there's a turret here.
We will fulfill our duty.
He has now got the upgrade where he can get Wraith Lords, which are great fun. You guys will get to see them soon. On the other side, Axonn's got the Machine Cult, which is the Space Marines equivalent of the support portal. So that'll be able to get him tanks, dreadnoughts, and heavy armor. Got more sort of jump infantry coming in here. More up. Look, he's just when he's got resources, he's just spending as much money as he can on upgrades. Because upgrades means each trooper is more powerful, so you get more value out of each one. Well, unfortunately, here comes the Wraith Lord. So these guys are massive walking machines here, absolutely brilliant guys.
Area secured.
Come with flamethrowers and pulse lasers, I believe, and can then be upgraded to have even more guns.
Until take and hold victory.
You hear that? He's got 3 minutes to take any of these locations, but he's got, well, unfortunately, yeah, because Axonn's now on that one, which is great. Now, this is a huge mistake. The Wraith Lord's coming in, and these Marines have missiles, and what's the health? Boom! A 5th of it's gone in one hit, and he's completely unsupported. If these rocket launchers keep firing at it, which as you can see the loading bar, boom, that's not going to last long, and that was his advantage in this fight, and he's kind of thrown it away to Axonn, who was able to just take out piecemeal. And here comes some reinforcements now, and now he's got some Guardians and Harlequin. Even if they... Oh, submarines are now dropping in. If they could try and push through here, they just don't have enough. There is... Yeah. He's got just over 2 minutes to capture a critical location. Well, at least capture 1, or at least uncap 2. And his army has just been utterly destroyed by this army of blue Marines. But they're not Ultramarines because they've got the Dark Angel symbol.
Take and hold victory.
And unfortunately, look, nothing's been built. While that was fine, he was so focused on the fighting that nothing's really happened. I mean, where's his workers?
Yes, most beneficent.
I'm on the wrong side. Where's his worker? He's put his workers inside the webway to keep them protected, but they're not doing anything. He's now changed the attack to aircraft, and then he's getting some more Guardians. I don't think there's going to be enough. Aircraft are actually lighter armoured.
I continue alone. The troop is ready. The stage.
Oh, were you the one hiding? Okay. Where are your workers? Ah, he focused on building that. Plasma generator will get him more resources in regards to power. But power should never be more than wreck. If we go to Axonns, look at that. 122 to 93 against 50 and 60. So Axonn is getting so much more resources, so many more upgrades. And he's now building dreadnoughts. And he's getting the Sacred Artifact, which upgrades stuff even further and gives him special commander. But that means very little. There's 1 minute left. The Eldar have got to make a push soon. He has got his aircraft ready. He's getting his last squads ready. He's getting them reinforced in the Harlequins. This is going to be the big final push. But we now have a Dreadnought has spawned. In come the aircraft, but once again, came in too fast and just going to be taken out by missile launchers. Boom, gone. And then the second one. Here they come, more missile launchers. Gone. And the Eldar are now just being gunned down. Finished. And this last final ditch hope for the Eldar is going down disastrously as the space. They've not even got all their forces in. They're just hanging back, ready for reinforcements. They only have to hold up for 14 more seconds, guys. And the Space Marines have the first win. It looks like that is going to be the case. There's no more Eldar left on the field apart from this Guardian squad. Is that a win for Axonn and his Space Marines? And that will be it, guys. So that's the first round out in his best out of 3. Axonn won by holding the critical locations. So to be fair, in the position he's in, he could move in and destroy his base now with no problem. So it wasn't going to last much longer. We were pushing it though at 15 minutes. So let's quit the battle and look at the stats quickly. So you can tell the difference. Look, military units killed 98 and he only lost 8. That's insane. Even though Jamcake had the biggest army, they weren't as strong, they weren't as powerful individually. Now, Space Marines are more powerful against Eldar 1-on-1 anyway, but they're meant to use their hit and run tactics. And unfortunately, they weren't being used as such, they were just being charged in. Resources, look, Axonn had twice as many resources to spend, and he did, than Jamcake, meaning he had more troops, more upgrades, everything needed. As you can see, look, research count. Jamcake didn't do any research, even though he was very quick to get the SoulStorm shrine, which gave him the ability upgrade. He didn't use any. Well, Axonn got as many upgrades as he could, and he reinforced not as much as Jamcake. Captured, strategic points is 6 each, and critical locations. So as you can see, Jamcake only captured the 1, while Axonn captured 5. You might go, but there was only 3 on the map. Yes, but that includes recapturing them. And again, captured relics compared to the none of Jamcake. So let's go to round 2 and see if Jamcake can learn from his early mistakes and push Axonn back to bring it, so then it can go down to a third and final match. Let's find out. So once more, guys, we're back into the fray with Jamcake as the Eldar in the top of your screen, and at the bottom we have Axonn with his Space Marines. As you see, very quick there to get the chapter barracks out. And something I need to point out, look, immediately go on plasma generators. That's a lot of resources put into power and not getting units out and getting upgrades. Now, something he completely forgot, and I hope he does it this time, is he doesn't get, I've forgotten what building it is now, but it's a, I'm trying to think what it is now, because it lets him, the aspect portal, I believe it's called, because it lets you have all the aspect warriors. Now, this is where the Eldar excel. Their basic troops aren't that great compared to basic Space Marines, but if they can get the aspect portal, you can get fire dragons, anti-vehicle and buildings, banshees, melee, and the Dark Reapers as well, which is the one of the best shooting units in the game. Absolutely, they can gun down Marines with no problem, and yet he didn't build that last time. So hopefully this time the Eldar will build that, so we can get his best units out. He's doing a better job now getting the Guardians out, capturing the points. As you can see, the Scouts are already for the Space Marines. And he's immediately, this is how it should be, get your barracks down, get your better infantry, get your army for upgrades, get a plasma generator, because in the early game you do not need that much power for upgrades. You later on you do, but at the very beginning you do not need this many, unfortunately. And you see he's got a worker just sat here not doing anything. He needs to get him working, needs to be pushing up, he needs to dominate the battlefield. This is where it went wrong last time. As you can see, Axonn is getting his scouts out there and just capturing everything he can. He's not bothering with the critical locations nor the relics. Now the reason for that is critical locations and the relics take longer to capture. Strategic points are easier to capture, they're quicker to do so, and give you field of vision as well. So if we go like this, as you can see, wherever he's captured a point, was there a point up here? Yeah, there was, okay. But you can see, as he captured points, it gives you line of sight. If we go to the other side, so by capturing these points,
secure,
means that the players can see what's on the field. Oh, so the enemy know if you capture a critical location, or if you capture a strategic point, they don't know where they are. So there is a bit of, hide and seek going on at this early stage. But the Eldar are doing a good job. They've reinforced fully, or as much as they can do. They're capturing as many points as they can. But Axonn is now going for the far critical locations, which is what he did in the previous game. Went for the outside ones, then fought for the centre one. Now, I should probably point out why this map's a very good one.
Eldar, purge the witches.
Oh, here we go. First engagement, but this is not in Axonn's favour, so he'll pull back. But all these streams give negative bonuses. Well, so, not bonuses, is it? It's just negative. But yeah, so if you get caught on the water, you're in trouble. And this is brilliant. If he can get Axonn immediately on the ball, put it... This is what's important, is getting away when you can. If he lost that worker, it would have really set him back. And here, he's allowing Jamcake to take that point, because this is more important. He can take that at any point. So he's just going to let Jamcake take that. And a mistake here by Jamcake. I don't know why these two aren't shooting, but he's trying to take out that listening post, and look at the damage. He's barely scratching the paintwork. He could be capturing points. He could be getting in here and capture, harassing.
I command in the name of
Oh,
he who stands with
the
you
Force
shall
Commander
be
has now just come out, guys. So that's the big
the
unit.
enemy must be near.
There you go. We've got the Scouts trying to take on the Eldar. Took 1 for 1, which is pretty good. Stopped him getting that point. But it also distracted them from the critical location. And Jamcake's moving up to try. But look, Axonn has upgraded this to have a heavy bolter on it. This is why you want listening posts, guys. Because you can then use them as defense points. Eldar now going to try and make a push, but we have the heavy bolter turret there as well, so that's going to cause some problems. Oh, we do have Scouts and the Force Commander, but they'll finish that up really quickly. While this is happening, the Guardians try to get in there, but we have some Assault Marines to push them back. But Jamcake does put out the range of the heavy bolter, so now he's just got to take these guys on. But again, I mean, this is a pretty good fight. If these guys can stay back and shoot while the others charge in, we'll do pretty well. But that they've made a mistake, they're getting involved, they can't go past that line. So Axonn will now push back, so they come charging forward, and the listening post will start going down. Problem is, as soon as they start coming out, this one's going to start shooting them, and they're in negative cover here, guys. So look, he's taking so much more damage than he should, and this is not looking good. We got Web Boy coming down, got SoulStorm trying, but it's not being used. And again, no listening posts. What difference does it make? Well, the Space Marine's on 92 resources. Well, he's on 50. So again, Axonn's on nearly double the resources. There you go. Now he's fought them off with the Scouts there and the Force Commander. They can recapture the points. Jamcake now finally getting his guys to capture the centre point. A very good move there. It means he only has to capture one more. Oh, Axonn doesn't want to be harassed again. Is building a turret. Very good move. That will cover this entire area. We now have a Space Marine point coming up, probably to push into this area here. And yeah, this is not going to hold out well, guys. He needs to fall back or he's going to lose these guys. The Space Marine's being a lot more aggressive in this game. Here comes the Force Commander as well. Eldar, they should have just ran. They're fast. Well, I don't know if they're faster than the Assault Marines, but they could have probably got away with some, and now they lose everyone.
5 minutes until take and hold victory.
Now, he's going with the Wraith Lord tactic again. And he's going, but he's not building any Guardians. He's not building the Aspect Portal. He's not building Listening Post. So he's going to really struggle getting any resources in. He is building a couple of Wraith Lords, and then he's going to upgrade them so they have increased health. But that's not going to do much if the enemy have rocket launchers. And actually now, the Space Marines are taking the center critical location, which is absolutely brilliant. That means they'll own all three, so they can allow one to fall, if need be. In comes the Wraith Lord. I hope he's going to actually keep him back this time, not just send him in. But we need... Unfortunately, his workers are just stuck in the webway. It's like, no, get them out. Build listening posts. They only cost 100 wreck each. Got some Harlequins going. So we're seeing a very similar strategy to last time, which is quite unusual, being the Eldar have so much diversity, and yet it's not being used in this battle, unfortunately. The same tactic is being used.
Until take and hold
And the Space
victory.
Marines, yeah, they're doing a similar tactic themselves, but that's because they've got the power to do so. He's played a bit more defensive. As you can see, he's got listening posts everywhere. He's building machine gun, heavy bolters and all of them. So it's going to be horrible for them to try and make a push to gain more ground. But these ones, he's just going to allow them to have, because it's barely getting him any resources. I don't know if actually, no, unfortunately it won't tell me. It normally tells you how much you would get from each listening point, but it won't let me. We do have a push from the Eldar though. Upgrades coming in, so he's actually doing a upgrade, which is good. Got some Guardians coming up, and he's pushing for this top one here, which is only guarded by a couple of Scouts. Their job is purely to see if anyone's coming their way and to slow them down when the main army comes in. And that's exactly what's going to happen here.
Space Marines are here.
Well done. So in they come now, and these Scouts will die quite quickly. But they're not there to fight. They're now turning back, and here's the response, guys. We've got the Marines coming in here. We've got the Force coming up from the back. More Guardians trying to come in. But this is a good move here. They're pulling back and they're going to try and hold that hill. Jamcake, this is not good combat. Full Guardians against Force Commander, it's not good. Now, Axonn has made a bit of a mistake here. His forces have gathered in the south and they're not pushing up, and his Force Commander has been caught out. Now, he's got a lot of health, a lot of armor. He should be able to hold out, but against a Harlequin, 2 Wraith Lords and some Guardians just helping out, he's gonna, here we go, he's now putting them back. But you see, the Harlequin can just keep knocking him over, which is the whole plan here. He's nearly at half health, but look, he's bringing him into the reinforcements. It's a bit of a try. Can he capture? No, the Harlequin's gone, pulls back. But now Jamcake makes a huge mistake. Where's the Guardian? Wraith Lords. The Wraith Lords need to get in there. These Guardians are just dying. The Harlequin on his own which dies. Well, in they come now. Assault Marine's coming in. Now the Guardians have nearly captured that point, but remember guys, he doesn't need all 3. He only needs 2 of them. And he's got the centre one and the one in the bottom corner over there. So as long as he can keep the Eldar occupied, Axonn will win this in 1 minute and 43 seconds. Oh, what a horrible death animation there. I don't know what he's doing. Kind of just froze on them a bit there. The Space Marines bringing reinforcements. There's nothing here but the 2 Wraith Lords now for the Eldar. He is building a load of Guardians, but again, this is just... You can only build 1 squad at a time. These guys have nearly captured this, but the Scouts own that, and they're not even bothering holding that because they don't need to. The Eldar focus purely on trying to destroy this army, and that's going to do so little in the grand scheme of things. Unfortunately, there's only a minute remaining. 1 Wraith Lord's nearly down. Yes, this is costing the Space Marines a lot, but they can afford this. If Axonn can win this battle, he's won, and he's into the semi-finals. And I'm not sure what... Yeah, we got some Guardians, but I don't know where they're going to go. Guardians have captured that point. So if they can at least uncap one in 50 seconds, which is possible, they could even this game up and keep it going. It's 10 minutes in, so it's halfway through. But not... The Wraith Lord's still alive with 177 health. But yeah, as you can see, the Marines aren't that bad and safe. They're, you know, they just immediately rally, come back in for another go. So what you should do is focus fire, though. There you go. The Guardians are making a push up. But the Scouts have been reinforced by Marines, and there's more Scouts. And at this point, the whole army just going to abandon the Wraith Lords. They don't need to worry about that. They just need to hold this point. They did try and capture it, but unfortunately it's not going to work, and there's only 18 seconds there. This is a terrible strategy, guys. It's just not going to last. And you can see the final countdown's going. We've got 2 Wraith Lords, but trying to go for a listening post. They should have supported the attack at the front. But unfortunately, it looks like Axonn is in. Look, all these troops are just sitting there. But I think the Marines are through to the semi-final.
Achieved.
Well done to Axonn. Great gameplay by him and his Marines. Fortunately, that will be the last we see of Jamcake and his Eldar. It is a real shame. But I'm sure he's learned a lot from this. As you can see, in both games, I'm not being nasty here, but in both games, he built 1 listening post. Which it's just unacceptable. It just doesn't work. You need to build listening posts on at least the ones in your base for sure, especially as Axonn's done. As you can see, he's built them here, and they act as turrets, so they're defending his base for him and getting more resources in. And you can see as well, he's getting the upgrade for him. Oh no, that's the Eldar. Oh yeah. So yeah, as you can see, he is getting an upgrade. So each listening post will get more requisition. Makes a massive difference. As you said, look, 110, only 30 energy, power, he didn't need that much. And yet here, 876 not being used, and 56 coming in. It's just a simple attrition. The Marines would win on attrition alone. So let's have a look at the stats before we wrap this episode up. So yeah, as you can see, a lot going for him. He killed 36, only lost 15. So the Eldar did a lot better in this one. A lot more even, and that's because I think the Wraith Lords and that were better supported. The Eldar had a better, bigger army, but not by much. No buildings were destroyed in this one, which is quite interesting. Requisition in that gather, though, look, it's pretty much, yeah, nearly double what Jamcake has. Last year had twice as much to get upgrades. 7 upgrades, 7 units, reinforced 30 times. As you can see, Jamcake, the troops just become inferior when it came to what Axonn had with Space Marines. So there we go, guys. We'll wrap up the episode here. Thank you very much for joining. Tomorrow we'll have another 2 players playing another round of Best Out of 3 with Dawn of War, and see who will be joining Axonn in the semi-finals. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you tomorrow for the next one. Till then, guys, take care.